this is Respawn Roscoe. Welcome to another EGX reaction video. This one's a little bit different to the others. We've looked at Mortal Kombat X, we've looked at the Order 1886, we've looked at even Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, that was very good. This is a little bit different. I want to look at a couple of games from the Microsoft area. I thought Microsoft put on a really good show. I've written an article today that's gone out on My Games Lounge, which was about hope for the Xbox One following EGX, and I really do think there is potential for this to be a good year for the Microsoft console, simply because they've shut their mouth a little bit. They've gone back to making just games and going for, you know, fan favourites, but also something a bit unique. This that I'm showing you now is Ori and the Blind Forest. It was one of the most captivating games to have a look at through the entire show, never mind just in the Xbox booth. I had a good go for a good 15-20 minutes exploring one of the levels, and as you can see here from the trailer, the main thing that strikes you is just the art style. It's almost a little bit like Child of Light that came out this year, you know, that's the 2D adventure RPG, and it really was a lovely game to play, very rewarding to actually achieve, you know, to get from one section to the next. The actual art style on the things like this evil owl, just generally the whole style of it is something that Microsoft lack. So whilst obviously they've got some of the old favourites there, this really stood out to me as something to watch for. The review is going to come up on My Games Lounge soon. We're in contact with Microsoft and had a talk about this game. We've said how good it is and how much it impressed us, and it is one you should really consider if you're into, you know, your 2D platformers, and if you've got an Xbox One, you're considering getting one. It's all, you know, and for a downloadable game, it's actually one of the ones that's worth getting a console for. Speaking of what's going to be worth getting a console for, this is the gameplay demo from Quantum Break. I recently put this on our YouTube channel because to be honest, I really like this game. I'm impressed with it, and I feel a bit bad that we've not actually covered it very much on My Games Lounge. So we looked at it when, you know, when all the details came out at Gamescom and at the conference E3, but we haven't touched on it much, mainly because there's not actually been that much detail to go on, I guess. But this is the gameplay from what they showed at Gamescom, and it's something that I really like. I like time traveling things. I have my issues with getting my head around the whole how did you go back in time if you're here now and all that kind of loop stuff. But if it's done in a Back to the Future kind of way where nothing has to make sense, it doesn't matter. This seems quite cool in the sense that, you know, time's fractured, everything's slightly out of sync with what's going on, and there's a little bit of a section later on where you've got these temporal bubbles, where things kind of act very strangely. You've got to navigate them very carefully. If you go into an area that's very dangerous, you can actually accelerate through time and kill yourself. It's very clever, and it's got quite a lot of potential to make the game very good. And we know that the guys that make the game, Remedy, are exceptional. You know, they made Alan Wake, which is a brilliant game for the Xbox 360, one you should experience if you've not played it. And this looks good. You know, it's got some nice shooting mechanics. And the thing I did mention in my article that's gone out on My Games Lounge today about the Xbox and what hope there is for the Xbox One this year was that as much as Microsoft hit, they always seem to be, at the moment, they're just not quite there. It was like you watched them at the Gamescom conference. You know, they did a really good job, and then Sony came out with some massive titles. You think, yeah, Microsoft didn't quite have enough to live up to, you know, the likes of Bloodborne, the likes of the Order 1886, and Until Dawn as well, that horror survival game. But at this kind of EGX, I thought they put on a better show. They really did. They had a better stage, they had a better area, they had, you know, the massive fan favourites like Halo, Call of Duty, and the new Evolve game seems to have maybe not sided with Xbox One, but they're certainly using the Xbox One consoles to demonstrate it, and it was part of their setup. So they put on a great show. It was just that little bit disappointing that this wasn't on show, because I really would have wanted to play this. I wanted to get my hands on it. There was a video demo similar to this. I think it was a slightly different playthrough, but it really did show off how good the game was. I just wanted to get my hands on it. I just wanted to have a little bit of a play, and unfortunately I didn't manage to do that, and that was a bit disappointing. The other small thing that disappointed from the Xbox Expo at EGX was the lack of Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider, Lara Croft's British, you're in the middle of London and you've just signed Tomb Raider as an exclusive title on the Xbox One. Yes, there's not much gameplay footage, but why not do it the other way around? Why not try and get some gameplay of this game, this Quantum Break, and get yourself, on Tomb Raider as a video instead, do something a bit different. It was a shame about that, but as I said, don't want to leave on a negative note, because I do think there's quite a lot of positives for the Xbox One coming up. So just keep it on My Games Lounge for more developments with the Xbox One. We do expect, with this time of year coming, them to have a decent section where, Sunset Overdrive is going to come out, Call of Duty is going to come out, massive Xbox One following for Call of Duty. So let's just see if the Xbox One starts to pick up sales, guys, and we hope so, because we don't want a one console market. That's not good for anybody. So make sure you're on mygameslounge.com for the latest. We've got interviews and reviews coming from EGX and from the Shadow of Mordor review. I've just finished the game last night, and it should be with you hopefully Thursday for a video and written review. So loads more to come on mygameslounge.com. Make sure you're there and come and join the gamers. We'd